Okay, right and ready.
And welcome, race fans. This is Garrick Mitchell with Bomb Squad Cycling, bringing you the 2026 Boulder Roubaix. This is the 55-plus category. A lot of Colorado races are going to 35, 45, 55-plus Masters, which so far is just fine with me. I will turn 55 this year, which means I'm basically the youngest one in this category, and frankly I need all the help I can get these days. But it starts off with a new start-finish. In fact, the bottom, the southern, say 40% of this course is new to Boulder Roubaix, and it starts off with kind of a gravel criterium. It was interesting, but I didn't lose contact through here, thankfully. The commentary is going to be pretty abbreviated. I'll go ahead and give you a preview of some things to look for. Basically, we are doing 2 laps of this 29-mile circuit, so 58-mile road race. About 40, 45, 46, something like that. Riders started. A lot of waves of riders starting in close proximity. It was kind of confusing who was where at the start, but we're winding our way through the park now, and then we'll get out on the gravel roads of Boulder County. This course, most of it, practically all of it except maybe a quarter mile of the previous Boulder Roubaix course is in use, but like I say, we tacked on the southern 40% here in order to get a more parking and facility friendly start finish at Boulder Reservoir, and I liked it. I think that was a good idea. Certainly parking was easier, otherwise it's parallel parking, hoping you don't get stuck in the ditch on a county road. But what we will see is me mostly hanging out at the back with a lot of the time with Will Ratz of Sonic Boom Racing, and just testing my fitness with my basically non-start at Cobb Lake Road Race. Still wasn't sure what my fitness was. Yesterday I did the CU crit in Boulder proper, and got shelled pretty hard there. The video is also posted on my channel. So we are exiting the park now, joining on right at the end of this the pavement here. It's going to quickly go to gravel. One thing I'll go ahead and point out is I'm recording this race on my Cyclic front light / camera. Now the Cyclic is more kind of a dash cam sort of thing. It's got a lot more capacity, a lot more battery life. The video is not as good as the GoPro, but the battery life is so good that it's really kind of a no-brainer for a road race. I just can't get the GoPro to last the whole time, and I don't want to think about turning it on and off. So this is Cyclic video. You can see the logo and the timestamp at bottom left. Otherwise, the telemetry is as usual. I've blown up the GPS track a little more, so you can see where we are on the course. It's a convoluted road race course, and then we've got, of course, time, distance, speedometer in the middle. This should be 3-second average power cadence just to the right of the speedometer, and then my heart rate graph. And nothing particularly special on heart rate, but a lot of ups and downs. There's a fair bit of elevation change on this course. In fact, really, I should have put in an elevation graph as well. But things have kind of settled down. You see Dan Schrad in the pink on the right there with Black Swift Cycleton Racing. The trick is kind of self-policing. Make sure we don't get head-on with the opposite direction car, but also not getting hung up in the loose stuff on the right edge of the road. And I am riding my Tarmac SL7 with my road wheels and tires on it, 30 millimeter Vittoria Corsa Pros, which is the widest I've ridden at Boulder Roubaix, but that's my everyday tire width now. And it actually was a pretty comfortable ride. I will admit my hands were feeling a bit arthritic the day after this, but it was actually not too bad. There are some loose spots on the course, which you'll see, but I'll go ahead and give you a preview of some notable spots. So the Crane Hollow gravel segment, which is the very, very northeast portion of the course, on the first lap of 2, we are going to catch another field, and things are going to get a little crazy. And on lap 2, there was a crash, a small crash in front of me, but gapped. I had to close some gaps to get back on, and by then, really starting with about 20 miles to go, so let's call it 37 miles in, so a third of the way through lap 2, I started feeling the onset of cramps in my calves and my quads, and really kind of had to limit the power. Thankfully, I was able to slam some scratch, some electrolyte drink, and avoid a full-on seizing up cramp. But it was a challenge, and you'll see numerous times I kind of gap a little bit off the back, and I think, well, crap, this is it. But I managed to chase back on. The weather forecast today was pretty dire. As we started, the forecast told us there'd be thunderstorms, probably starting during the second lap, and sure enough, it did rain the last 5 miles or so. And since I've got a full week of work and work travel ahead of me, I actually got to catch a flight at 6 p.m. on the day of the race. Didn't want to contest things, didn't want to risk too much at the end. So as the rain started falling, I drifted off the back. And in the loose gravel, once we pulled into Boulder Reservoir, I did that all by my lonesome. But anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. I'll do a little bit more commentary when we get to Crane Hollow Road. But for now, enjoy.
element. Yeah. At least I got crash replacement from Hunt. They may still decide to fix it. We'll see. Right turn, 200 meters. Right turn. Rider up. Hey, hey, hey.
Rider on the right.
Right there. Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, good job.
We'll see if they replace it or repair it though.
Yeah, that happened to me and they replaced the wheel.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
We'll see. At least I got something to ride in the meantime.
Yeah.
Go, go, go. And they're right here in town, so I just took it to them. Got some drunk riders up on the right. Right turn. Heads up, heads up. Place to lose a bottle on the smoothest part of the course. inside the island. There we go.
So this section of gravel bears mentioning if you're watching this video for reconnaissance. This is pretty steeply, and well, not steep, but I mean it's definitely downhill, and we hit some pretty good speeds. And there's some washboardy sections that crop up in the middle of it. And you'll see a rash of loose water bottles, which is always a hazard. You don't want to lose one yourself, of course, but you also don't want to hit somebody else's. So this is a bit of a white knuckle section, certainly for me. There goes the armada of water bottles. Myself, I use stainless steel cages that do a pretty darn good job of hanging on the bottles. Knock on wood, of course, but yeah. So we saw a rider stop there. Not sure what his issue was, but we come into a couple of 90-degree corners. Now there is a bit of super elevation or banking to those corners, so you just stay to the inside and let the banking help you get through the corner. But we get some, generally speaking, the dirt and gravel wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't as treacherous as the Buff Gold Road Race last year, where it's basically sand on top of hardpack. There's plenty of exposed hardpack here, isolated loose stuff, a lot of loose stuff on the Crane Hollow segment. That'll be coming in another 5 miles or so. But yeah, so far I'm feeling pretty good. But I was a little nervous about that downhill gravel there, because it is pretty fast. Definitely hit mid to upper 30s miles per hour, as I recall. Now, one other thing I do want to point out about the Cyclic, of course, its microphone picks up a lot more wind than the GoPro does. I think the GoPro actually does have some wind noise reduction built in, but what this kind of shows you is when I'm hanging out in the wind. There was some wind, not a ton of it, but I'm struggling to remember 5 days later the wind direction. I'll look it up and say it some other time. But yeah, right now it's nice and quiet. But when I'm getting buffeted by the wind, because most of the time I'm not ensconced in the middle of the field, I tend to like being on the side. I'm just don't want to tangle with someone else, hit handlebars. Well, you saw what happened at Cobb Lake. I'm a little shy right now, but anyway, bottom line, if I'm hanging out in the wind noise is pretty loud on this camera, and it's actually kind of a diagnostic tool, I guess you could say. All right, so we're getting ready to turn left onto the next gravel sector, and that will put us on the loop for the Buff Gold Road Race, which is typically held, put on by CU on off years when Boulder Roubaix isn't held, since it's an every other year event. But this section had me a little worried. Like I say, last year at Buff Gold, this was really slick. I had a lot of trouble with traction here, and there are a lot of twists and turns on this sector. Thankfully, we kept it clean this time, but this is certainly a challenging gravel sector. But more so is, I keep talking about Crane Hollow, the next sector that turns south from the northeasternmost part of the course. So I'll check back in with you approaching the next gravel sector. So I feel bad for bitching at that rider, but he kind of griped at me, coming into that previous left-hand corner. He slowed down a lot. You could see the H.M. Brown rider ahead of me pass him, and I didn't want him to cut me off. So I said, hey, coming through. But so far, this is really kind of hero dirt. This corner right here, in fact. Buff Gold Road Race 3 years ago, there was a crash in that corner on the final lap, and that was the final corner. The finish is maybe another 300 meters from here in Buff Gold, and I actually had my best result of the year just by virtue of being a little bit off the back when that crash occurred. I just rode past all the downed riders and had a decent finish. But what I was going to say was that the rider that slowed there, and he think griped at me thinking I kind of dive bombed him, which maybe I did, but by the same token, if I just followed him through that corner, as much as he slowed down, I'm going to have a big gap to close, and frankly did not want to do that. Furthermore, in Buff Gold last year, the right corner that followed is where someone crashed, and I got hung up behind him and couldn't close the gap. And that was in lap 1 of 6 or so in that race. So I rode basically almost the entire race solo, which sucked. All right, so we're off that gravel sector on the northernmost leg of the course, heading east, and the next gravel segment is going to be Crane Hollow Road. So a quick note, weather-wise. Crap, I still don't remember. I mean, the wind is definitely, there's a northerly component to it. I'm going to say it's northeasterly. So right now it's a headwind angled from our left. And then maybe now the wind noise should quiet down a little bit. As far as clothes go, it was, it's forecast to be like lower 40s, I think. When it rained, it got upper 30s. And I just said it's hero dirt compared to last time, which is true. I mean, it's the humidity's high enough. It gets a little bit dusty in this next sector where it's loose, but otherwise traction was pretty decent for the most part. But clothing-wise, I warmed up, so I'm wearing bib shorts, short sleeve shirts. My Castelli Nanoflex knee warmers and arm warmers. Nanoflex has a moisture repellent coating on it, so if it did rain, that would keep me a little bit drier. I warmed up with my GABA vest, but I took the vest off for the start. I wore a lung warmer, which is basically like a wind and water resistant bib under my jersey. So somewhere about here, I think I took it off because I had warmed up nicely, and I was pretty comfortable for the race. I had stuffed my GABA vest up the back of my jersey in case of emergency, like if it really started raining hard or I got dropped and just needed to stop and put on more clothes. But I was actually pretty comfortable. I think I was lucky. We only did 2 laps. The fields that did a third lap, that last lap was just really cold and wet, and a lot of folks had difficulty. But I consider myself fortunate. Now, we are about to. All right, let me point out numbers. So race numbers, 55 plus. The range went from mid 530s up to about 578. People like me who registered day of got numbers around 250. So you'll see, all right, so 500s and mid 200s. Now up ahead you see another group, and we are catching one of the Masters 4s groups. And so here we turn on to Crane Hollow. It's going to be loose, it's going to be dusty, it's going to be a bit treacherous. But we're going to catch another group, which is a disastrous time to do it. They didn't neutralize that group. Instead, we just mixed together. So you'll see riders with like 400 or 600 race numbers. And, well, we'll just see how it plays out. All right, so we're approaching the end of the Crane Hollow segment, but the fields are well and truly mixed. The rider directly in front of me has a 400 number on, so I know he's not in my field. And the fear is that the 55 plus riders who've filtered through them, once they get out in front of this other field, they're just going to go motoring off. And if I just stay here, I'm going to end up, basically getting dropped. I'm going to be stuck back here with the Masters 4s. So at this point, I'm going to be huffing and puffing, really trying to get up. But you'll see everyone's strung out. It's a long, long, long line of riders, and I know that a lot of those guys are not in my field. I need to get past them. So the next couple miles, we're going to be kind of negotiating that. But But be on the lookout for that. Listen to me huffing and puffing and bitching at other people, saying I need to get past you guys. That's a me problem, but it has to be done. So enjoy that. That'll be the rest of the commentary. Just remember that starting about a third of the way through lap 2, I start cramping, getting real close to cramping. I never actually do seize up, thankfully. And like I say, I slammed some Scratch Labs electrolyte drink, which I think got me through.
Fields are mixed.
And yeah, there I am, lamenting my situation, but it'll work out. So I got to get to bed. The Koppenberg is this weekend, is Sunday, and looking forward to that. But got stuff to do in the meantime. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff they usually tell you to do on YouTube. And see you out on the road.
We gotta get past these guys. Come on. Fuck. Yep, get over. Thank you.
Get him.
I need to get out of here. I need to get out. Thank you. 55. Left turn. Cones. Come on. Don't do that shit. We got to get these fields separated. And you're not in the front field. Yes. Yes, but we caught you in the worst possible spot. Hey, 45, let's let them go. Yeah. You'll be good. If you're not a 55 plus 1, 2, 3, raise your hand. 55 plus 1, 2, 3s need to move through. That's me. Okay, move. Go 6, 5, 6.
Hey, Todd, I'm going to leave.
Go, 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 go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. But do you see the cones? Yep. Cones! Left turn. Oh, come on. Watch for cones. You're on the right. God damn it. Stay out there. Just what we needed. zero dirt compared to what I was expecting. turn, left, left. Ay, ay, ay. Whew. Roger, right.
There's big crash in 45.
I saw the aftermath.
Yeah,
Well, sorry, man.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Hey, thanks, man.
right. Yep. Thank you. Left turn. me. Pretty though. Feels like hero dirt today. Go wide, go wide. All right. Dan, did you have to put a foot down?
Yeah, I broke the feet.
Oh, shit. Never been so glad for a headwind. Gives us a place to hide. Was it fun until it wasn't? Car up.
It was like 55 plus 3 cents cut up.
After having to go with the 40 plus 123s yesterday, I'm just glad to have an older guy's group. Oh, this is beautiful. More of this, please. Well, now we got to climb though. Never mind. I'm just talking, so my lips don't go now. Loosen the shoulder. Left turn. target. Watch your cones. I'm just glad everyone else seems to be tired about the same time as me.
Yeah.
If I could just hold off this cramp. Ah.
Get back to property.
That too, yeah, oh God. Yeah, I gotta catch a flight at 6 o'clock tonight. Right. I'll take my compression leggings on the plane. to right, or up. Nothing to do with the argy-bargy that's to come. Although at least it won't be as dusty with the rain.
I'll play around a little bit.
There you go. go for it, Will. You got it. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. Boulder Roubaix. Here, you know what? If I were smart, I would do this. How pro is that? Boulder Roubaix, a little dirty at the end, a little rainy at the end. Had Duran Duran's Hold Back the Rain in my head. Hold back the rain. But I'll tell you what, I was fighting incipient calf and quad cramps the last 20 miles. But I kept sucking down scratch, and thank God for electrolytes. I'm gonna get dry and go home because I gotta catch a flight at 6 o'clock tonight. So thank you, Wholesome Masters Racing, all the race organization. That was a lot of fun. See you next time. Ahsoka.